Well, if the camera angle looks slightly off today, it's because I don't have my little tripod holding up the phone. This is the little tripod I use. It's not a tripod. This, this is the Gillette Heritage Razor. Came in this fancy case here. This is what I keep, when I film these videos, I keep this in the medicine cabinet just for this purpose. And then I open the top and I put the phone right there. And so today I'm not doing that, but I am going to be using this razor because it just sits up there as my little phone propper-upper. That's a technical term, in case you were wondering. And today I'm going to use it because I revisited the King C Gillette, but this was the first new release from Gillette back in October of 2019, I believe. Such innocent times. Gillette was coming back out with safety razors again and giving you a fancy case. You can still buy this thing $36 right now on Amazon. I think so, $36, $39, something like that. Anyway, we're going to try this sucker out and we're going to lather up today with the Jolly Rancher synthetic I got from West Coast Shaving. And I'm going to use something from the UK, Boots Lather Shave Cream. This is the Cool Cologne scent. So I'm going to use this. So if you're over in the UK and you're familiar with Boots, chemists, druggists, drugstores, whatever you call them. I know I always do this every time. And then the aftershave we're going to use is some Proraso. Yeah, the Balsamo dopo barba, peli sensibili. I just watched House of Gucci, so I've got a really bad Italian accent. Aftershave balm from Proraso. Yes, folks. That's right, I did. I took a shower, did my hair. Time to put some hot water up here. I didn't shave yesterday, just why? I don't know, just didn't. But I did take a shower to soften up the old whiskers. And I suggest you do the same. I got a few shout outs today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shout outs. I know. I ask and ye shall receive, as they say. I asked for shout outs and I did receive some. Okay, let's get this thing going. Let's start shaving. Let's remind ourselves of, I think it's a mild razor, if I'm not mistaken. Let's open it up, show you how it looks in the case when you get it. Now, it does come, this is my little feather blade, but it does come with some Gillette blades, I believe, when you first get it. See, it's got a little, this is a pretty decent vintage style case. Yeah, I like that. All right, it's a 3-piece. I'm going to take the feather blade out, and then I'm going to take the little, I'll just take them both out. How about that? Sarite? Sarite. Sorry, I got to do that joke every time too. So here's what it looks like. 2-piece head, 1-piece, kind of a squat little handle. Not very long. Certainly not as long as the King C Gillette. Where is it? Oh, I put it away, so I can't put them, I can't compare the two, but here's what I am going to do. I'm going to load this sucker up with a feather blade. That's right. Somebody said, hey, you converted me to feather blades. I tried it out and I loved it. It's like, that's why it's pretty much the only thing I use. I was thinking about that. You know, you watch any number of other shaving channels. They're constantly using tons of different blades and other stuff too. And I try to use something different every time as far as, you know, soaps and brushes and things. But when it comes to the blade, I'm sticking to feather. I don't need, you know, I just don't need to. Now, there is a bit of blade overhang for this, so I'm going to grab the ends with my towel and tighten it down. That's what I do. And people are like, well, it's not sharpened, but I'll tell you what, I got a bad cut on a measuring tape, a metal measuring tape. That's not sharpened either, but if these things are you're pressing hard and trying to do it, that's going to slice you. Take my advice. Just hold it with a towel or something, you know, tea towel or Kleenex or some toilet tissue, whatever. All right. My face is already dried out, it feels like. So what we're going to do is put the old brush down there in the water, and we're going to do a face lather. Now, that was something in the last one, when I used the Nivea, or as someone from Germany said, we pronounce it Nivea, and so my pronunciation sounded weird. So that's how we pronounce it here in America. I know. All right. So this is wet. This is wet. This is, I don't know what. And we're going to squirt it on top of here, just like toothpaste on a toothbrush. Now, I'm going to go with that much. Why? I don't know. And then smear it around a little bit on the top so that when I take it like horizontally, it doesn't just plop right off like sometimes happens. And this is, like I said, the Cool Cologne. So it's got a little bit of cooling menthol in it, which you know I'm a fan of. Ooh, gosh. Now, as I'm smelling the scent, this is another product that has just been sitting in my little shaving luggage. My shaving luggage. My razor valise. I splashed myself in the eye. Luckily, it didn't burn. But as I'm using this now, I'm smelling the scent of the cool cologne. It smells a little bit like a urinal cake. If you know, men, you know what I'm talking about? Those little things at the bottom of urinals to keep it from smelling funky. It reminds me a little bit of the smell of a blue-colored urinal cake. Yeah. So, not my favorite scent, but it's fine. Lathered well. I'm sure it's pretty cheap. I bet you can find it pretty readily. Why do I keep showing the tube? I don't know. All right. So here is the 3-piece Gillette Heritage. Came out in 2019, and I think mine was the second video uploaded talking about this razor. Way back then, I was like, oh, I gotta hurry and get it out before everybody else. And I think I succeeded. I think there was one gentleman that put out a video. I don't know how he got his, but I got mine quick, and man, I ran. And maybe why? I don't know. Same reason why the fills want to be first. The first fills. It just feels good. I don't know. It's just little victories in life, you know. Why not? So this is a fairly mild razor. It is a closed comb head razor. I'm sure somebody will tell me that head is exactly like the Mula 289 or whatever. That's what they were saying about the Gillette, the King C Gillette last time. I don't remember exactly which one they said it was, but so it seems that they sort of outsourced the manufacturer of this razor to someone else and then slapped their name on it, you know. But this one was and is more expensive than the longer handled King C Gillette. This one's got much more of a vintage look to it, like very 1930s kind of deal, which I kind of like. And I love this little thing. I've got it. Yeah, I've got this propped up on the. Today I'm using my vintage Barbasol razor box from the 30s. It actually says Barbasol razor chromium on it. If you go back and look at that vintage Barbasol razor from the 30s, that's the box that my phone is propped against right now. Okay, we got some shout outs, folks. And the first one was very specific. Marcus Shank. He wanted me to shout him out in a George Harrison voice. And, you know, it doesn't take much to get me to do a Liverpudlian accent. And then if you sort of do the George Harrison, you know, that was kind of John Lennon-y sounding. Oh, don't mind, really. That's my most George Harrison sounding thing. I think he says that in A Hard Day's Night when he stumbles into the advertising agency and they're having him look at some shirts and listen to an ad pitch for the new hip it girl. He said, oh, she's dead grotty. We watch her commercials on TV and turn down the sound and laugh, have a giggle. So there you go, Marcus. Shouts out to you. I don't mind, really. There you go. All right. So there's the first pass. Hey, that's pretty good. You know, when I do this is like my test, my check. If I go down with the grain after the first pass and it feels pretty smooth, that's a good razor. This is a good razor. Simple, man. You don't have to get fancy. You don't have to get adjustable. You don't have to have butterfly wings. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You don't have to have 900 blades and a vibrating heating element in it. And you know what I'm saying. Of course, this same company is in the money-making business, so I keep trotting out new stuff all the time. If they trot out the old stuff, well, all right. Yeah, so I seem to use a lot of shaving cream when I squirt it on the brush there. Like I think I would have got more mileage out of a different shaving cream using that same amount. This one's not like exploding into lather. I mean, even that looks like it's, you know, fairly sparse. Normally it's just like, you know. So, you know, this stuff is fine. I'm not going to show it again. It's fine. All right, let's take a second pass across the grain. I do prefer closed comb razors. Just, I don't know why, I just do. They don't even have to have the little fingers, the little knobs or whatever you'd call those things, the scallops or whatever. In fact, I like the Rockwell the best. It's just flat, straight across. Blade guard, I guess you call it. But yeah, this is a pretty decent razor. I think I like it better than the King C Gillette. I think I do. I certainly like it for the little case you get. I went to an antique store down in New Braunfels yesterday, and I found, of course, a bunch of gem razors. Oh man, you cannot get away from those. It's like going to a pawn shop back in the 80s and 90s, and you'd see all these Les Paul copies made by some brand named Hondo. It's like Hondo guitars only exist in pawn shops. And gem razors only exist in antique stores by the bucket load. I mean, they even had one, was brand new, unused, and I've found those before, and just had to give them like, no, thank you. But they did have an old Gillette razor. It looked like it was from the late 40s, and it was in its case, and it had 2 little packets of Gillette blades, and they wanted $25 for it. But man, you want to talk about grandpa grungy. Whew, that thing wasn't interesting enough to attempt to clean it up and make it shave ready. I used to have one of those 1949 dated Gillette twist opens, but I sent that up to Chicago to girl Alex and her husband. Hopefully they're still using it. All right, speaking of shout outs, we got some more oh my gosh, JC Shaves. He's a commenter on here. He's got a good YouTube video. Go check him out, JC Shaves. Happy birthday on Saturday, 53 years young, old, 53 years old. You're older than I am, JC. God love you. Check out his channel and shave along with JC, won't you? All right, let's go for a third pass. I'm going to put a little bit more. No, I'm not going to, because it's the third pass, I don't need to. But we're doing good. We're doing real well. We're getting that smooth, nearly perfect, nearly totally smooth shave that I like. Yeah, I mean, I could have used some more, but I don't need it. I just need a little thin film for this third pass. And boy, there's just almost nothing left there. It makes cleanup a breeze. All right, we got another shout out. Houston Lamb. Houston Lamb, good to see you. Shout out. My hometown, Houston. And I have some relatives with the last name of Lamb. Maybe we're related. Maybe we're related. I don't know if you live in Texas or not, but with a name like Houston, it has to be good. Oh, hey, my goodness. Speaking of, I should have brought this up when I was talking about the UK, folks. Y'all are having some Texas weather out there. 101 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, right? 104. Gosh. I hope you guys are hanging in there and can find some place to cool off, because I know that you don't have the kind of air conditioning that we have here. You're not built for that kind of weather in many, many different ways. So I hope that weather breaks soon. You get back to norm. Ooh, because that's rough. That's rough, and I apologize. I apologize for the weather in general. It's over 100 every single day here, and it has been for weeks and weeks and weeks, and there's no end in sight. No rain, nothing. It's just, whoa. Gotta go swimming. Went down to Schlitterbahn again yesterday. That was before I went to the little antique store and found the gross grungy razor. Okay, who else we got here? Oh, we got another shout out. Jade Franks. Shout out to you, Jade Franks. Jade Amulet. That's a cool first name, Jade. Hey, Jade. Don't make it Bade. Sorry. I shouldn't turn a shout out into a bad song parody. What am I, Weird Al Yankovic? So they gonna have a Weird Al Yankovic movie? I mean, I like Weird Al as much as the next guy, but a movie? I can't believe he's still going strong after all these years. My gosh. Another one, Rides the Bus. When was that, 1981? Well, I got a little Nick. Nick report. One Nick. Not major. A very small one. Very small one. Okay, another shout out. Peter Machinist. Are you a machinist? A lot of people like their last name would be like D.B. Cooper. You can tell that his ancestors made barrels, or a Porter Wagoner. You know what they did, what their ancestors did for a living. So I'm wondering if Peter Machinist, hopefully you pronounce it like that. I mean, how else would you pronounce machinist spelled as it sounds? So shout out to you. Okay. All right. Let's wash down and we'll get the problem areas. And we'll put some Parasso Balsamo Dopo Barba. I think it means aftershave. Dopo. Barba definitely means shave. Okay, who else we got? Oh, Emilio from Aubrey, Texas. I don't know where Aubrey, Texas is. Texas is a big state, so I can't know everything about it. But shout out to you, Emilio from Aubrey. Aubrey, Texas. It's also a good first name. We've had Jade and we got Aubrey. We've got a machinist. We got Houston Lamb. I mean, that sounds like a football player's name, like quarterback. Starting for the University of Texas, Houston Lamb. All right. We used to have a quarterback named Houston McCoy, which is like, I think that's right. Is that right? Or is that somebody else I'm thinking of? Anyway, talking about the most Texas-y sounding name ever, Houston McCoy. Or was that Colt McCoy? Colt McCoy. That's what, even more so. Colt McCoy. Get out of town. Your parents. I had a picture of John Wayne on their bedside table. Even though he's not Texan. Beat the devil out of that little brush and let it sit out. Dry off. Oh, we've got one last shout out. And that's Oliver Kluger, who lives in Germany. I would love to go to Germany sometime. I want to go see I want to go to Munich. I want to travel down from Berlin down to Munich. I want to go through, see some mountains and some beautiful stuff. So, Oliver Kluger in Germany. There's your shout out. I wish I knew something to say in German. I don't speak any German, dang it. All I can say is, meiner Fuß vergessen. I think that means I forgot my foot. I don't know, something like that. I'm not going to make the mistake that JFK did and say that he's a Berliner. Instead of saying Ich bin Berliner, he said Ich bin ein Berliner, which is describing an object. A pastry of some sort, a Berliner. So I'm not going to make that mistake. Okay, so it's a very, very light scent, this stuff. This Proraso. Oh, it's for sensitive skin too, so maybe that's why. Not a lot of, harsh scents, and it's very, very thin. I prefer a thicker. And this is pretty liquidy. It's not like milk, but it's like in between. It's like that drinkable yogurt kind of consistency. So not my favorite, but it soothes. It's cooling slightly, I think. Maybe that's just the temperature. And that nick is still slightly there. But otherwise, that's a dang fine shave, if I do say so myself. So, the Gillette Heritage. You should try it out. Try it out. You can't always find, vintage razors in your neighborhood or your area. So get your hands on whatever one you can if you want to try this out. I think you'll like it. It's one of those weird things that you'd never know is true until you do it. And it's like, oh, it actually is more enjoyable now to shave. Why? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why. But I do know it'll save you a lot of money in the long haul, not buying those, $30 cartridge packets that have like 4 cartridges in it. Oof. Sure, in the front end, you got to spend a little bit more. But you don't have to spend $100. You can get something that's in the $35 range or less, 25, 26. Probably get that on special. Probably on Amazon Prime Day the other day, but that's gone. See you next year for that one. All right, everybody. So that's it. A nice revisit of the Gillette Heritage Razor. Their first new safety razor offering back, was it now 3 years ago now? 4? You do the math. 2019. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Monday. All right.